Hi, my name is Rob, and this is Moondor Studios. As you can tell, this is my first video that I put up. I know I did like a little teaser thing of something that I was kind of working on and some iPhone videos that I put together. But I wanted to talk to you about, one, the intention of the channel, and two, I want to do a quick studio walkthrough for you guys so you can see what we have going on here. A little bit about me. I've been a guitar player almost 30 years now, so that's always been my main instrument. Over to my left, I've got a nice drum set, snares. I've started getting really into, digital instruments and synthesizers and things like that. So primarily I play guitar. And like a lot of you, I am a major gear whore. I've got a massive problem that I've since kind of weaned myself off of. So I would say I will do product reviews on this stuff. And by the way, everything that I review, I buy. I've always been that way. I don't want anything for free. If you want to give me something for free, I will say I'm buying it from you. If you want me to talk about it, that means I bought it, or it's just available to everyone for free. So I'll probably end up doing some review videos. Now, I told you I have been playing guitar for almost 30 years. Don't mistake that. There are plenty of better guitar players on YouTube. Don't come here thinking I'm going to be like Mr. Wizard on guitar. There's a ton of channels that are going to do that way better. And anytime I talk about something, I'll reference those channels, put them in the links below. You guys can go check them out. You guys can go follow them if you would like. But yeah, I want to do like practical reviews, right? So oftentimes if I see like a guitar video and they're doing a pedal and they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff, is that practical? Is that how most people are going to use it? Like I'll talk to my brother a lot and he'll watch a video and he'll be like, I want this sound. I want to do this thing. I'm like, Mike, relax a little bit here. They're professional too. It's recorded really nicely. So if I'm going to do something like that, I'm going to do something that I think is more practical, more real world. The intention is to show you something. I am an Amazon affiliate, so sometimes I'll have links below. If you like something that I'm showing you, again, I bought it already, nothing for free. And if you like it, click a link below. It helps out the channel. It helps me provide more content as we move forward. So yes, I will be doing reviews of guitars, guitar pedals, amplifiers, drum stuff, maybe a little bit. I would say that, again, there's significantly better places to go on the internet for drums outside of me. But a lot of what I want to be able to do is kind of show you some of my processes, my workflows. Again, like I take a very practical approach to things. I'm like a lot of you, I get into something and I do it, and a lot of it's going to be by trial and error. And I found things that have worked for me, things that haven't worked for me. At the end of the day, it's not about if you like the music that I'm going to produce. That's not the intention. Music is kind of for everyone. Everyone's got a different take, a different style, resonates differently. But really, I think what we talk about is things that we can practically approach to any type of music and any type of recording. So with that being said, let me get on this camera and show you around the studio and talk to you guys a little bit about some of the stuff that we've got going on here. Thanks. All right, cool. We're going to start here at the drum kit. Big fan of the Zildjian hi-hats. Most everything I have is Sabian, but I'm not brand loyal. I don't really care. They all sound pretty freaking good. The kit itself is a Yamaha Live Oak Custom. They discontinued this one, I believe, in 2019 when they came out with a new version of it. And this is actually the last kit of this color in this configuration available. Got it from my drum store in Dublin, California, Dub's Drum Basement. Go check them out. Darren, Tara, awesome. This right here is actually super cool. It's a Garibaldi that they made special for him, and I think there's only these are prototypes, I want to say, and there was only like 3 of them made. And again, Darren, my guy in Northern California, Dub's Drum Basement, go check him out. I was like, hey Rob, I got something for you. And I'm like, cool, I'm a sucker for stuff like that. But yeah, always been like a Remo guy on the heads, so Emperor's on the top, Ambassador's on the bottom, except for that guy over there. I actually am playing around with putting a coated Ambassador on the bottom, thickening up the sound, and then you're gonna have to go Super Kick. Yamaha FP9 single pedal, and somewhere around here, right there, still in its box. One day I'll use the Tama Dynasync. We'll see. And always, we are protected by Optimus Prime. Although he died in the movie. And I cried. Because I was a very small child when I saw it and he was my hero. Thanks, Dad. Oh, another pro tip. Stickers on the ground. I actually record podcasts in here, and it's really easy to remember where I put my drums because I'm very specific with where I like them. For those of you that play drums, you would really understand why. So I take everything down, set the podcast table up. When they're done, I'm able to put the drum set back to where I want it to be. Who doesn't like pretty flowers? And I wanted to make the place fancier. And plus it keeps Godzilla in check. We're gonna go down. We got a couple snare drums here. Boop. Some extra microphones than I was telling you before. Old pedals. New pedals. More pedals. Pedals in my house. Pedals everywhere. Then we got the JCM 800. So the cool thing about this is I was working on a pretty intense work project a few years ago, and I said, you know what, I'm going to buy this thing. This is going to be my gift. It was an insane project. I can't get into it. And I buy this thing, and I'm thinking in my head, right, like, oh man, it's going to be this really cool, awesome sound. And I turn it on, and this is the thinnest sounding amp. I'm like, what is this thing? Like, this is not what I think it should be. And this mother effer is super loud. So in order to really get it like going, you really kind of need to crank it up. I mean, we're at 5.5 right now. You probably want it up to like 7. And so I kind of like put it away for a while, and then a while back I was messing around a little bit and I was playing with it, and I was like, wait a minute, like, yeah, it's kind of thin, but the clean kind of dirty sound on it is pretty freaking good. So this has actually become my main amplifier. Love the way it sounds recorded. It just has like a real nice mid in it that is just phenomenal. This here is the main pedal board that I use. That thing, the G2, is an absolute freaking monster. I know it's expensive. I know there's other options out here, but man, when I got this thing, you know, running all my pedals, I don't know if you can see back here, some of the other stuff I've got going on, running my stuff through this thing made my guitar sound better, because it's not going through all these pedals, it's going through each individual loop. And even if I had all the loops activated, there's something about what that thing does makes my guitar through my amps with my fingers, all my stuff. I mean, I could tell a big difference with it, and it's really, really flexible, fairly easy, really easy to run a wet dry out of it, and fairly easy to run a wet dry wet. So if I'm going to be playing guitar and I want to sound absolutely massive, I'm actually going to go wet dry wet. And a lot of times if I'm going to record guitars, I also want to go wet dry wet on it, have everything kind of mic'd up separately, right? I got the Vox AC15 down there. Quick story on that. Found that thing for like $50 because it was just in dire straits. Bought it, completely cleaned it up with my dad, put Celestian Blue in it, and that thing actually cuts through mixes really well. Probably better than any amp that I have. But yeah, so if I'm going to record guitar, I'm more than likely going to go at least wet dry. But now if I can do it, I'm going to go wet dry wet. The reason why is because everything is going to be everything's going to be more how it sounds in the room, and you're going to get a lot more transient, a lot more attack. You're going to be able to pan some stuff over, run some stuff in stereo. You're going to be able to capture and record. Real quick, bass amp. I really don't use this guy all that much. Little Fender Rumble 200. Mostly if people come over and they just want to jam is when I'm going to be doing it. But most of the time, and when we actually get to like the desk where all the, the fun stuff is, yeah, most of the time I'm going to be running the bass directly into one of my preamps and just kind of going. If you thought that's all the cymbals I had, you're kidding yourself. I have got more. Bass is here because I thought of kind of a cool thing. I was talking with my drum teacher about a month ago, and I was talking to him how I prioritize my kick and bass sounds when I EQ them, and he's like, whoa, I never thought of it. And this guy's done a lot more in music than I have, and I ever will. So this guy here, yes. Oh, feel that. This was my dream amplifier since like 1997, 1996 when I was in high school, and saved up my money, was able to get this before I got married. So I've had this guy for about 9 years now. It's awesome. It's awesome. It does that thing. And then this guy here, we got a couple Celestion Vintage 30s in here. This is a project my dad and I, every time he comes out to visit, we always have a project. This was a project that we had, and we built a speaker cabinet. So it's a little 2x12. It is pure wood, and it is super heavy, and I don't know why we never put wheels on it. Studio monitors. Gotta go with the Adams. Gotta go with the Adams. All right, and so now we are getting into the nitty gritty. So I'm going to start over here. Can't forget about that guy. If you want a clean amp, that's awesome. The reverb on it sucks, but the chorus is fantastic. The clean is really, really flat. You can DI it directly in, provided you got the right equipment in. I like to mic stuff up, so I don't do that. But we've got a little sub going on. Ooh. Oh, so tasty. We've got the Moog Grandmother Edition. Oh, feel that one. Do you feel that? I feel that. Moog Fest Edition. I still need to send in for my jean jacket. This guy right here, the Machine. I've been on Machine for a while now, had the Mark II, love the Mark II, and then when this guy came out, it was like really, really a no-brainer. Much better screen, much better functionality. But this guy here is where I'm going to be doing pretty much anything to do with any types of beats that I'm not doing on the drums, and which, by the way, if I can avoid recording on my drums, I'm going to use this instead. But anything to do with rhythms, whether it's bass sounds, drums, any percussions, I'm going to go to here 95% of the time. I love the way this thing works. And the more that I play with it, the more functionality I find with it. Getting it integrated in my DAW has been fun. It can be a challenge to get this thing set up the way that you want it, but maybe in another video I'll show you how I do it. I don't record via MIDI. I always record via audio. I don't know why. I'm just nuts in the head. We've got the other Adam, and then this guy here, it's not turned on right now, but I kind of bought this on a whim probably about 8 months ago. I'm going to do a video on this guy because this is one of the most versatile pedals that I have. I don't know if you can tell in there, but oh yeah, it's vibrating. Focus. Probably a little bit too close. So actually a spring reverb, but this is really cool. You got spring reverb, delay, and then also a chorus flanger. So I have it here because I like to run my Grandmother and also my Sub 37 through this. It adds this dynamic to the sound that's just incredible. And one thing that I play with, one of my guilty pleasures that I'm not ashamed to admit, I like old goth music. And in my mind, they had that kind of like chorusy reverb effect specifically on the bass. And dude, this is expensive, but it's worth every penny. It's like you plug this thing in and you instantly get that sound. So I am going to do a video on that guy. We've got the complete control here. I'm a Studio One user. I don't know if you can see Studio One running right now. So they just recently, I think within the past 4 to 6 months or something, have, now you can like start and stop and record and stuff. So it's been helpful. I use this more so for like kind of like the piano, keyboard, synthesizer sounds. I'm a big Arturia guy. I don't know if you can see any of that stuff. Like I've got, I got the Arturia stuff. I've got a bunch of the Native Instruments stuff. So I'm going to run that thing when I'm using kind of a lot of those keyboard stuffs, keyboard sounds, things like that. It's all going to go through here. Love my Apollos. I really like the quality of Universal Audio stuff. As you can tell, I've got, pretty much everything here on the rack is Universal Audio. 4710D, when I first got it, I did not like that thing at all. It was super problematic. I couldn't figure out why. Turns out the clock on it's really sensitive. I bought a world clock cable, connected it to my Apollo X8P. Problem solved, no issues at all. It's been phenomenal. It's been like rock solid ever since. So specifically when I'm doing podcasts, I'm going to be using the 4 preamps up here. There's four other inputs on the back for line in. So I'm going to be running, like, that's where my Moogs are running through that one. That guy right there. So if I want to do voiceover stuff or do anything, I'm going to be sitting at my desk being comfortable. This guy is going to go into this guy, who's then going to go into this guy. And so that's kind of the chain. But yeah, the Apollo stuff's good. Software-wise, I'm not the biggest fan of their console stuff. It tends to be fairly temperamental, and I don't like temperamental. And how can we forget a notepad and a pen? So specifically, if I'm doing podcasts and things like that, I always have this guy out there. I'm writing notes, if someone's coughing or doing something like that, writing a note so I could go back and edit it out if I need to. And then we've got here the Cloud Lifter. So that's a 4-banger right there. And that's specifically because I use what are they? SM7Bs. Those guys, SM7Bs, I think is what the part number is. So when we do the podcast, I'm going to have 4 of those guys out there. It's run through this. Now, the preamps on this guy is not super strong, so it needs to be boosted. So everything runs through here first. Whoa, what's that? Everything's going to run through the Cloud Lifter first. It's going to boost the signal. That way I don't have to run the gain so hot that I'm getting like distortion and fuzz out of it. But yeah, that's pretty much the setup. And then again, I've got, my primary DAW is Studio One. I also have Logic. I think I've got Cubase 9.5, I think. Never decided to upgrade it to 10. Pro Tools I have because everyone's got Pro Tools and I hate Pro Tools a lot. I just find with my workflow, Studio One just works the best for me. Plenty of other quality DAWs out there, but that's just my thing. And I'm not necessarily a Mac guy. I'm more of a PC guy, but I do find with audio stuff, the Mac just seems to kind of take stuff better, specifically with the Thunderbolt 3. So that's the studio in a nutshell. This is all we've got. Yay! Yay! Oh, yay! I put a curtain up like a couple weeks ago because, I wanted to be fancier, and it's been nice. It feels like home. Well, cool. Thanks for taking the time to kind of go over my studio. Let me show you what I've got here. Really looking forward to doing more of these videos. I'm a bit nervous, but also a bit excited to do something a little bit different. Try this out, see how it goes. Love the community. Again, I'm just like you guys. I go to YouTube for damn near everything at this point in time. So anything I can do to be of assistance, help out, let me know. Hopefully you like the videos as I put more up, get better at this. But yeah, if you've got any questions, email me at rob@moondoorstudios.com. Like the channel, please. Subscribe to the channel, please. Facebook, Instagram, you guys all know the drill. You don't need me coming out there all the time. And oh, by the way, I don't know if you can see. Let me move my camera up because I gave Godzilla some props. And I gave Transformers some props. But here you go. I'm always protected by a snake. Always.